Whatever people say, it's very difficult when you're inside the British monarchy because whoever you have a picture taken with, at some point it can come back and, as the infamous saying goes, bite you. And that's the problem. And it's very difficult in any sphere now because of the way that the world works, the world of social media. Everything's scrutinized, as you know, everything's picked apart. Incredibly difficult, particularly when you've recently just become an ambassador to His Majesty the King. And there you have it, you've picked up glorious awards, all of that sort of thing, and then because of this it comes crashing down. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good to see you. Thank you so much as ever for your time. You all right today? Thank you. Yeah, I know a bit lackluster, that wasn't it? I know. I'm just trying to wake up. Are you? I know. You've been travelling around, as everybody knows who watches the show. Been to Brighton, been to Yorkshire. Catches up with you then, doesn't it? And you can't get 40 winks on that train. Oh no, there's just, every 2 minutes catering, mind this, water, the next stop. I mean, some of these people are microphone happy, aren't they? Surprised they don't do a song and dance in between in the aisle. You just want to nod off. Yes, well, we are like, you just do, don't you? The sun was going through the window. I thought, this is heaven. Every 2 minutes reminded me about this or that or offers. And if not, then there was a woman opposite me on the phone discussing everything about her life. I wanted to chip in and say, can't you get some headphones, love? I'm not that interested. You know what I mean? Back as ever though, gosh, I'm ranting, aren't I? Back as ever to your royal story of the day. Now, this particular man, his bell has become very unstuck. This is because, of course, he appeared at Kidderminster Court the other day, and now it's going to escalate to a further court appearance, I think in around about October. A very distasteful sort of situation for him. Never met the guy, but it seemed very pleasant on the hit BBC TV show The Repair Shop. So much so that His Majesty the King was a major fan of the show. In fact, appearing on the show just a couple of years ago now to great success, big ratings hit. Jay Blades also recently made a very delightful programme with Dame Judi Dench, and it was a nice warm feeling, that sort of stuff. I've got to point out a couple of points here as well. In all the headlines they say BBC presenter Jay Blades. Let me tell you, he's a freelancer that works for a production company that's screened on the BBC, so technically not employed by them, but that's the mainstream media. Attach that to that. It's still a terrible situation to find himself in. An even bigger one now though, because the show, for the very first time, The Repair Shop, is going to be going on tour next year, visiting theatres. Quite what they're going to do, I'm not quite sure. I mean, how does this work when you're not inside the famous barn? Either way, they decided to put Jay Blades at the forefront of the marketing campaign. He, of course, being the very best known amongst everybody else. Now, what's fascinating is, because of this situation, a lot of people are now, those that have booked, and as ever we have to say allegedly, are refunding. They don't want to attend. You can understand that. That's their prerogative. But the company behind that are now having to reschedule, do all the postering, the campaigning. And whether they decide to do that in full remains to be seen of the outcome of the October court case. But the bigger thing that I've been told was that they had hoped in one of the more local dates to London that His Majesty the King and, of course, Queen Camilla may attend one of the live shows. As I said, he's a big fan of the show. And it goes back to what I said at the very start of this video. It's very difficult, and you have to be very, very careful who you align yourself with in any picture. My motto is always just make sure you stand with one of the puppets or Muppets or something. Hopefully they can't get into trouble. Well, you never know, do you? Particularly if it's Miss Piggy. But on a serious note, whatever the outcome of this, it's not going to play out particularly well. Jay's already now stepped down from being an ambassador for the King's particular role. So as you can see, severe consequences. Either way, it's going to be very hard for anybody to repair this mess moving forward. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.